This is Katie, our news desk, and I am Akisa Wandera. Thank you very much for staying with us. Now, W.Pokot Governor John Lonyangapuo is expected to officiate the revival of the Wei Wei irrigation scheme, and our reporter Elvis Koskei is closely following up on this for us. He now joins us live from W.Pokot with an update. Elvis, good afternoon. What will this irrigation scheme and its revival mean for the people of W.Pokot?
Many thanks, Akisa. Historically, W.Pokot County has been inseparable with the feuding communities living here, with little being told about the economical viable and food secure Sigod constituency where I'm standing right now, and maybe it's one of the main reasons why W.Pokot Governor John Lonyangapuo has led several senators, including Kimani Wamatangi from Kiambu. We also have Samuel Pogisho, who is the senator of W.Pokot County, among other leaders here. But let's just listen in to what Governor Lonyangapuo has to say. I understand that this is the fruits of devolution. Historically, we did not understand why W.Pokot County could not produce such things that we are seeing here.
Very true. I want to welcome you to W.Pokot County, and our brothers who are Muslim. We wish them the Eid Mubarak, the best. And as you can see, we also decided it was a very special day to come and celebrate with our Muslim brothers, but right here in the farm of Wei Wei irrigation scheme in Pokot, where for the first time we have had maize done and grown in our land. These are the first fruits we are celebrating today. And that's why my former colleagues, plus my current senator, have today come to celebrate with us. And today we are touring to see what has happened, what has been done. And more so, for my colleagues to come and see what their former colleague is doing in this devolution. Now that I've come as a governor, am I doing things right? So this is what we are happy with, this is what's happening around. And we are happy that they have come to see us. And, we are eating maize, and we are yet to go and tour more. So we need a lot of support from Senate, a lot of support from the national government towards the achievement and sustainability of devolution right in the ground here. And you can already see Wamatang is here. Maybe they can tell you what they have seen already.
Okay. Thank you very much, Senator.
Thank you.
Maybe this is your first time in Sigod constituency?
Well, it's my first time in Sigod constituency. First, let me say jambo to all the wananchi. Habari zenu wananchi? Sawa. And then to say we are happy to be here, I want first to start by wishing all our Muslim brothers Eid Mubarak. We join with them as they celebrate the end of the holy month of Ramadan, and we are also joining them. As you can see, I already have a rib that I have worked on as a sign that we are celebrating with our Muslim brothers, and also as a sign of the hospitality of the people of W.Pokot. And we are glad to be here to join our former colleague, now the governor of W.Pokot, in seeing precisely what it is that he is transforming the vision that he told the people of W.Pokot that he has into reality. Let me say quickly that, you see, with the advent of devolution, the promise, the expectation of the people was that we were going to go right down to them and do what the people do, but do it in a better way. And I want first to acknowledge that what I've seen here is truly amazing. To be holding a maize cob like this, that has been roasted here and grown here, and bite into it. And then that tells you that things are happening differently from the way they were happening before. I want to congratulate not only the governor, I want to congratulate also the people of W.Pokot, the people of Sigor, the senator here, for the united and common vision that they have brought down to the people of W.Pokot. Another 5 years should see this place quite different.
Okay.
Thank you.
Akisa, we also have TJ Kajwang all the way from Moses Kajwang, all the way from Homa Bay.
Yeah. Thank you. When you sit in Nairobi, you can develop some pessimism about the success of devolution. You can be pessimistic about W.Pokot as a county. But our visit today has dispelled that pessimism. First of all, W.Pokot is a beautiful land with a lot of potential. We have seen an irrigation scheme of thousands of acres being put up. We are eating maize that comes from the soil of this great land. We've eaten meat from very delicious goats from this area. Our pessimism on devolution
Well, I seem to have challenges with that link, but Elvis Koskei is still covering that for us in our other bulletins. He will definitely be bringing us updates on really what this particular revival of this irrigation scheme will mean for the people of the West Pokot County. Officers from the Kenya Wildlife Service have been forced to use a chopper to drive away 11 elephants that have invaded farms and destroyed crops at Mandongoi and Ukasi villages in Mwingi North, Kitui County. The animals have been roaming villages after straying from the Kora National Game Reserve for 2 weeks now, and at least 24 acres of farm have been invaded. The elephants have destroyed maize, sorghum and watermelons worth thousands of shillings. Away from that, South Sudanese rebel leader Riek Machar has accepted an invitation from the Ethiopian Prime Minister to talks with South Sudanese President Salva Kiir in Addis Ababa next week. A statement from the SPLM in the opposition said Machar, who is under house arrest in South Africa, had been invited by Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed to attend the talks on June the 20th. The talks will be led by East African bloc IGAD. The meeting would be the first time that Kiir and Machar, the former vice president of South Sudan, have met since a peace deal between the government and Machar's rebel group fell apart in August 2016. Tens of thousands of people have died in the civil war that broke out in late 2013 when troops loyal to Machar launched a rebellion against the government. All sides in the now complex and multifaceted war stand accused by the United Nations and other bodies of committing atrocities against civilians.
No ammunition, no arms. He says, I must deliver this to you to buy food.
Now, the South Sudan peace talks in Ethiopia are expected to resume on June the 20th, but the parties attending the forum admit that progress in seeking a new path towards peace has been slow. Here is Paul Sisko with more.
So far, South Sudan's warring partners have failed to sign a new peace deal, despite 5 days of intensive negotiations in the Ethiopian capital Addis Ababa. Church leaders taking part in the talks have urged the parties to compromise, cooperate, and work with IGAD, the regional East African group, for the sake of millions of suffering South Sudanese. Ismail Weiss is IGAD's special envoy to South Sudan.
South Sudanese stakeholders asked to be alone and continue the consultations among themselves. And so far as I can see, it's going very well. And it will be very beautiful and recommendable. And this will make the people of South Sudan very happy and very proud if the South Sudanese, without any interventions from outside, could come to a solution and lead their country into peace and stability.
At one point, I thought at the end of last year we were moving in the right direction. Today, after seeing what I've seen here, houses burned, children shot, the discussion of more conflict and more war, cattle raiding, it's pretty disappointing. I know this is only one place, but all across South Sudan there's conflicts like this happening, if not one place, in another.
Women activists at the talks are calling for 35% participation in all upcoming processes.
It is a time for them to decide for our country, to decide for the peace. This is what the South Sudan people need.
IGAD has drafted a bridging proposal with a president and 3 vice presidents, including First Vice President Riek Machar, leading a transitional government. Despite several failed agreements and ceasefires, fighting and civil war has been almost continuous since 2013, 2 years after South Sudan's independence from Sudan, brokered in part and supported by Western powers. Almost 2.5 million people, mostly women and children, have been forced to seek refuge in Kenya, Uganda, Sudan, Ethiopia, the DRC, and the Central African Republic, neighboring states. Millions more have been uprooted internally, and tens of thousands of people have been killed. Paul Sisko, VOA News, Washington.
Away from South Sudan, in March 2016, thanks to a partnership between NGO WWF and Barefoot College, an Indian NGO, 4 women from the remote village of Ambakivao in the west of Madagascar left for India to become solar technicians back in their village after 6 months of training. They're now able to install, repair and maintain their photovoltaic panels.
At the end of 2017, this isolated fishing village in western Madagascar had no access to electricity. Yolanda and her grandchildren used oil lamps as their light source.
First, there wasn't enough light. We couldn't work properly. And then the smoke made us sick. The children did not stop coughing, and they had blackened nostrils.
Today, nearly 200 homes are equipped with solar panels, and it is Yolanda and 3 other women from the village who install and repair the equipment, a skill acquired in India where they were trained as solar technicians.
When we left, I was a little scared because we didn't know this country. What impressed me most were the lights. It was really dazzling to see all those lights in India. We had lights on all the time, non-stop. The fan ran all day long, as did the electricity. There was no power failure.
The program has changed the lives of the villagers, who can now continue to study, work or cook in the evenings. Solar energy can also help increase security.
There have already been 2 deaths here. They were shot dead. That's why we wanted to install outside lighting to see the bandits from afar and be able to escape in time or prepare.
By 2030, the project plans to supply 630,000 households with solar energy. A big step forward for a country where 94% of the population is still without electricity.
All right, I want us now to take a short break here on KTN News Desk. When we get back, Moses Wahisi will be taking us through sports news. Of course, day 2 of the World Cup. It'll be very interesting to see the game between Egypt and Uruguay, but he will be having more details on that. Let's take that break. We'll be back with more.
This is KTN News.